What's up, gamers? Papa Jumpluff in the chat. We're gaming. We're Gandalfing. Dolphin splash it. Let's go. Today we got Scizor, Murkrow, Furret, because Muck is in jail.
Because Muck is banned and SMF is still here.
SMF is still here. There's a new SMF in town. Let's go.
Thank you, Jesse. This is Aquapolis Scizor. We know it. You probably know it. It's a really good card. It was really good in Neo On, and it's still good in WotC-20. This one is supposedly signed by Mike Boozer, also known as Dark Master Trainer Mike, except when I sent it into PSA, they told me I couldn't prove it. So I sleeved it up, I built this deck, and to start off, it's going to be 3 of those Aquapolis Scizor. Snatch is so good. Snatch takes care of babies. Heavy Metal is so good. It's immune to poison. It's got 80 HP. Stacking metal on it is just disgusting. It can hit really high damage numbers. It can be really hard to knock out. So we know it's a good deck. I said, why not build it? So, and it looks so nice. So, 3 Scizor. And of course, because it was printed in the Classic Collection, we have 4 Jungle Scyther. Obviously a very good basic in format. It's 70 HP. It's got a big body. It can use Slash. You're usually running Rainbow Energy with Scizor anyway, so it could use Swords Dance if something is going wrong. Usually you're fine though. Usually you're just fine. Free retreating's a big deal, so this is a phenomenal basic with a phenomenal Evo. So, not much to say other than it's just really, really good. And you can slash a baby, which does 30. Speaking of dealing 30, here's Furret. Furret from Aquapolis. You can go and scavenge your hunt out. Any energy card you want, and Scizor loves special energy. It loves metal, it loves rainbow. It even loves darkness, which we'll get to in a second, but Warp Energy is big in format, Cyclone is big in format, Recycle is big in format. There's just so many options for Furret. It's one of the best cards that you can support your deck with, besides Espeon in my opinion. And to that point, we got 2 Center to support that. And then SMF. It's not Muck, it's Murkrow. I figured if you're using Furret, you're going and you're finding special energy, go and find some darkness. Go and mean look somebody. You're against a fire deck, your game plan is now to lock them. Hit them with feint attack and just lock them out of the game with mean look. You'd be surprised how many opportunities you'll get in a game to mean look a baby. It's obviously risky if you miss the flip and they can just start eking, but that's why you read game state. You probably don't do that early. Maybe you do that much later in the game, but it forces your opponent to have a gust or a warp or some way to maybe evolve. You just got to break the mean look lock. And just always having that in your back pocket is incredibly strong on something that is a free retreater and a basic. So 50 HP is not bad either. And then you already know this is coming, but we got 4 Cleffa, Celebrations Cleffa, and everything, but 4 Cleffa for your setup, your eking, your baby stalling, your free retreating, you name it, it's a Cleffa deck. Alright, into the trainer base. I decided not to run Oaks in this deck because I like Copycat. Copycat is very good when your opponent is eking and you are not eking. Oak is fine, but with Furret, putting cards back in your deck, I don't really typically want to discard cards with Oak when every card in this deck is pure heat. And besides, there's other discard in here, like 2 Comp Search from Classic Collection, or 2 Item Finder from, just kidding, they're never reprinting that again. We know they're good cards. Running 4 is kind of overkill. I like the cycle balance of 3 Copycat. Otherwise, if you need, you can always do 2 Oak, 2 Comp, 2 Item Finder is classic and lean enough where it's only 6 cards committed, but if you have the extra slot, you have some flexibility. I like 3 Copycat. I also like 3 Gust. You're snatching things with Scizor, your opponent can't get out of deactive. Gust them back in and knock them out. It's very effective. One of the weirdest tech cards I've come to really like is Charity. Charity lets you reduce the amount of damage you deal to the opponent's active by any amount, and if you do not get a knockout, then it returns to your hand. So Charity, as far as deck thinning goes, attach it to your Cleffa and eek. It will come back to your hands. Stays in hands. It's always there for you. It's good for handling Mr. Mime. Your opponent stalling with Mime, attach it to Furret. Use Spinning Attack for 20. Attach it to Scizor. Snatch indefinitely, because Snatch can only hit a Pokemon that is not damaged. If you Snatch for 0 on something with a high retreat cost, your opponent's not ready to deal with it. You can really get them in a locked state and then throw in Murkrow. So Charity's weird. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's been very fun to play with, and it just feels very flexible, I would say. It also allows you to play around Goldberry, which we run 2 of. Maybe you don't want to proc your opponent's Goldberry, they're expecting you to use Charity, stay under the wire on it, get the knockout next turn, keep Charity in your hand. But Goldberry, obviously very strong with metal, very good on Scizor with 80 HP. And just in case somebody is ERing the heck out of you, maybe energy removal is a 4 of in your opponent's deck, maybe you furreted out all your metals and now they're in the bin, just use Trash Exchange early. It'll get all of your metal back into your deck, it'll even get darkness back into your deck. There's very few ways to get your special energy back into deck. This is one of them, and it's only a single card slot. You don't really need more than that. You can try things like Mewtwo's Energy Absorption from Black Star promo. There's Energy Charge on a coin flip. This just feels appropriate in a deck with Furret, where once you use it, you can go and check with Furret what you actually got. So very strong. It makes it feel like, you know, you're never really going to be out of energy. You just have to be careful about when you play it. And then, of course, 1 fan club, 1 traveling salesman, because yes, there's Goldberries, but there's also 2 strength charm. And strength charm allows you to use snatch for 30. It allows you to just hit some nice numbers, get some insurance on your heavy metal flips if you're not feeling too good about it. Nothing wrong with a strength charm on a Murkrow either. I've used strength charm on a Sentret for tackle with the DCE to take out a Cleffa. Strength charm just gives you extra reach where no one's really expecting it if you're playing a tight game. And just 1 friend ball, Cleffa's everywhere. Have an easier time finding Sentret and Furret is a big deal. I like the 1 friend ball to balance out the search. And a single town bait. So now in the energy base, we've already talked about Cyclone. It's your opponent chooses, but it's kind of like Gust. That can be very disruptive. It can help you get an Eek off if your opponent is trying to baby stall and you want to pull something in, or it can push a baby to the bench and then you can snatch it for a knockout. 2 Recycle. I like those on Cleffa. It just feels like when you play 2 Recycle, you're actually playing 3 or 4 of an energy. It's also useful for Scizor for retreat looping, which we'll talk about in a second. But there's 3 warp. 3 is a little aggressive. I could probably do 2, but 3 is nice if you have a Scizor set up and your opponent's gusting it, you're not ready to attack it, you want it back on bench. Maybe they pull in your Furret. Furret wants to get out of active. 3 is never bad. One of the best cards in format. It breaks status and a lot of things like that if your opponent's trying to lock you with a status. 3 darkness. Obviously they're for Murkrow, but what if you put 1 on Scizor? Then it's snatching for 30 no matter what. That's pretty good. Furret can go get it, so usually it's on Murkrow. It works on Scizor. If you don't want to be slowly losing HP on Scizor between turns, that's why we have the Recycle Energy, retreat both, this will bounce to hands, so it doesn't feel as bad. And then it's Scizor, so you already know. 4 metal, of course. You already know. 4 rainbow, which complements Murkrow and Scyther. And you probably already know, but here are 4 DCE. So, crazy good cards. Everything in this deck feels good. If I could say that it has one weakness, it's fire decks that are expensive to build anyway, and a lot of people don't bring, and water is so prevalent with effective rain dance decks out there that it's risky to bring fire. So, bring Scizor, bring SMF, and snatch a baby.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. Awesome. Thanks for checking out the video, and we'll catch you next time.